She had it all: fame, respect, a loyal husband who held her down when no one else would. But in a matter of months, Remy Ma lost everything. Papoose didn't just walk away, he walked away heartbroken. And this time, she's the one left crying. What really happened behind closed doors? They were once the couple that made people believe in real love, even in the cold world of hip-hop. When Remy Ma went away to prison, it could have been the end of their love story. But instead, that's where it started for real. Papoose didn't just wait, he stood by her through every phone call, every court date, every single day of her sentence. While other rappers bragged about loyalty in their songs, he lived it. Papoose didn't entertain other women. He didn't chase clout. He stayed grounded, focused, and by her side in spirit, even when they couldn't touch. His love was loud, but not flashy. It wasn't about social media posts or public displays, it was about real commitment, the kind you feel deep in your soul. Remy knew what she had. And when she finally walked out those prison gates, the first face she saw was his. He had been waiting, faithfully, not just as a partner, but as a man who believed in her worth, even when the world turned away. Their love seemed untouchable. In 2016, they made it official with a beautiful wedding that fans celebrated like their own family was getting married. They were a symbol of what loyalty could look like in a world full of fake promises. People looked at Papoose as one of the last real ones left. He wasn't just a rapper, he was a husband, a father, and a soldier for his family. Remy had found someone rare, someone who saw her for more than a rapper, more than an ex-con, more than a woman in the spotlight. He saw her heart. And for a while, it looked like nothing could break them. But even the strongest love stories can start to crack when the world keeps turning and the pressure doesn't stop. As the years passed, small things began to shift. People close to the couple began noticing changes, subtle ones at first. Papoose, always the proud, smiling husband at red carpet events, started looking distant, quiet, like something was weighing on him. He didn't speak on it because that's not his style. But the look in his eyes told a different story. Meanwhile, Remy's focus was shifting too. After years of being known as the woman behind bars, she was determined to reclaim her spotlight. Music, TV, hosting gigs, she was building a brand that stood on its own. And with that kind of ambition came long nights, busy schedules, and moments where personal life took a backseat. Some said they were drifting apart. Others said they were already living separate lives before the public even caught a whiff of it. But whatever was happening behind closed doors, it was clear that things weren't the same. Their pictures together became rare. The energy felt off. And still, neither one said a word. The silence only added to the tension. People could feel it. Something was breaking. Then came the moment that shattered everything. A photo surfaced online: Remy Ma, dressed sharp, standing a little too close to battle rapper Easy the Block Captain. At first, fans thought it was innocent. Maybe they were just working together. Maybe it was nothing. But as more pictures came out and video clips started circling, the story started changing. The chemistry between them couldn't be ignored. The way she looked at him, the way he smiled at her. It didn't feel like business. It felt personal. And then came the whispers, rumors that Papoose had found out. That he confronted Easy backstage during an event. Some said there was a fight. Others said it got heated but never turned physical. Either way, fans could tell something serious had gone down. Remy tried to brush it off during interviews, cracking jokes and saying people were reading too much into it. But the internet wasn't buying it. They had eyes. They saw the way Easy looked at her. And worse, they saw how Papoose had vanished from the picture. He stopped showing up to events. He stopped posting. The man who once wore his love on his sleeve had gone completely silent. And that silence spoke volumes. When Papoose is quiet, that's when you should worry. Because silence doesn't mean he doesn't care, it means he's hurting too deep to speak. Fans started noticing subtle signs. He unfollowed Remy on social media. He deleted photos, years of memories gone in a few clicks. People noticed he wasn't wearing his wedding ring anymore. Some even said he moved out of their shared home. But still, no interview. No public statement. Just quiet, cold distance. And Remy? She started showing up alone. At one event, She was seen wiping away tears before stepping onto the stage. At a panel, her voice cracked when she talked about betrayal and regret. It wasn't just heartbreak, it was the weight of knowing she may have lost the one person who truly loved her for who she was, not who the world wanted her to be. People started putting the pieces together. Papoose had left, not with anger, not with a messy public exit, but with the quiet sadness of a man who gave everything and finally had nothing left to give. And that kind of exit hits different, because it means the love was real, but the pain ran deeper. Their family wasn't spared from the storm. When two people split in public like that, it's never just about them. It spills over into everyone around them. Their daughter, innocent and caught in the middle, reportedly started asking questions that no child should ever have to ask. Relatives who once smiled together at holidays were now choosing sides. Word from the Bronx was that old friends were turning cold. Papoose's sisters, once publicly supportive of Remy, suddenly unfollowed her online. They posted cryptic messages about loyalty, betrayal, and being fed up. Remy's own inner circle, people who had been with her from the beginning, started urging her to make things right, to fix it before the damage became permanent. And through it all, one thing kept people wondering: Remy never took off her wedding ring. Even at her lowest, even as she cried during interviews, even as Papoose stayed silent, she kept that ring on. Maybe it was a silent cry for forgiveness. Maybe it was a reminder of what she lost. Or maybe, deep down, she was still hoping for one last chance to make things right. The internet exploded. Fans were divided, hurt, and angry. Some said Remy had betrayed a man who literally waited 6 years for her. They said she let her ego get bigger than her heart. They posted clips of Papoose holding her down during her darkest times, visiting her in prison, defending her on interviews, raising their child while she was away. To them, she had lost the only real one in her life. But not everyone was on the same page. Others believed the story was deeper than it looked. They said Papoose had been checked out long before Easy came around. Some pointed to interviews where he looked disconnected, where his words didn't match his eyes. Reddit threads, TikTok breakdowns, Twitter theories, everyone had a different take. Was Remy wrong? Was Pap hiding something? Could both of them be victims of growing apart? The only thing everyone agreed on was this: the love story wasn't what it used to be. And maybe it never would be again. It wasn't long before the cracks on the outside started becoming visible on the inside. In a recent podcast interview, Remy finally opened up, not about Easy, not about Pap directly, but about the weight she'd been carrying. Her voice wasn't as confident as usual. Her laugh felt forced. And in the middle of the episode, she admitted she was fighting battles she never saw coming. You could feel the heaviness in her words. This wasn't the same Remy who walked red carpets like nothing could touch her. This was a woman unraveling slowly in front of the world. She talked about being judged unfairly, misunderstood by people who didn't know her heart. She didn't beg for sympathy. She just spoke the truth of someone who thought love would be enough and found out it wasn't. Behind the camera, sources say she's been having trouble sleeping. She shows up to work, does her job, but the spark isn't there. Her team says she's quiet, distant, and easily triggered by small things. And while she's trying to hold it all together publicly, those close to her say she's emotionally crushed. It's like she's walking through life with a piece of her soul missing. Meanwhile, Papoose has remained consistent in his silence, but he made one move that said everything. He posted a cryptic quote to his story: "Sometimes, walking away is the only way to find peace." Just those few words. No caption, no explanation, but it echoed through every corner of the internet. Fans knew exactly who it was about. And what made it worse was how true it felt. Because sometimes, when a man has given his all, every ounce of his heart, every chance, every opportunity, he doesn't yell, he doesn't beg, he just walks. And that's the kind of goodbye that lingers forever. Friends say Remy has reached out, tried to call, sent messages through mutual people. But Pap isn't ready to talk. He's protecting his peace. For years, he gave his life to someone else's recovery, someone else's career, someone else's battles. And now, for the first time, he's choosing himself. It's not about pride. It's about survival. Some men break things when they're hurt. Pap just disappears. And his silence, more than anything, is a sign that he's deeply wounded. Still, for many people watching from the outside, there's a lingering question that won't go away. Could they ever get back together? Is there still a tiny door open for reconciliation? After all, their history runs deep. They've survived more than most couples could handle. Prison, career losses, public scrutiny, family drama. Through all of it, they stayed strong. So it's not crazy to think maybe, just maybe, there's still a heartbeat under all this pain. Some insiders believe that Remy still holds hope. That's why she's kept the ring on. That's why she's avoided trashing him in the media. That's why she's been so emotional in interviews, because she still loves him. And maybe that love still lives somewhere inside Pap too. But love alone isn't always enough, especially when respect is broken. And the truth is, once a man like Papoose feels disrespected, especially after holding someone down for over a decade,